Seductive. Having alluring or tempting qualities. The advertisements used seductive images to appeal to the desires of young consumers. The seductive nature of social media often distracts individuals from real-life interactions. The novel's seductive narrative style kept readers engaged from the first page to the last. Dramatic. Exciting, theatrical, or significantly impactful. The dramatic increase in pollution is causing irreversible damage to the environment. The report highlighted dramatic improvements in healthcare access over the decade. The dramatic rise in unemployment rates has led to public protests across the country. Explicit. Leaving no room for confusion or doubt. Explicit language in official documents helps avoid potential legal misunderstandings. The contract contained explicit terms that both parties had to agree on before signing. His explicit comments about the issue sparked a heated debate among the participants. Devastating. Extremely destructive or emotionally overwhelming. Wildfires have had a devastating impact on local ecosystems and wildlife populations. War has devastating consequences for civilians, for the most part, children and women. The financial crisis had a devastating impact on the country's economy and businesses. Audacious. Showing a willingness to take risks. The audacious plan to rebuild the city's infrastructure met with both praise and criticism. Her audacious attitude toward challenging the norm made her a trailblazer in technology. The audacious entrepreneur invested heavily in startups despite the financial uncertainty. Introspective. Examination of one's thoughts and feelings. The artist's introspective work reveals hidden emotions and unresolved inner conflicts. His speech took an introspective turn, focusing on personal growth and transformation. After the breakup, he became more introspective, analyzing his past relationships deeply. Repulsive. Extremely unpleasant or unacceptable. Many people find the idea of animal cruelty to be morally repulsive and unacceptable. His repulsive behavior towards others makes it difficult for him to maintain friendships. Some people find the thought of eating insects repulsive, despite their nutritional value. Stunning. Extremely impressive or shockingly beautiful. The documentary showcased stunning, aerial views of untouched natural landscapes. Her stunning presentation captivated the judges during the International Science Fair. The artist's stunning painting of the cityscape became a major attraction in the gallery. Plausible. Seemingly reasonable and likely to be true. It is plausible that technological advancements will continue to shape our daily lives. It seems plausible that global warming will have serious consequences for coastal cities. While the proposal is plausible, it requires further investigation to confirm its feasibility. Far-fetched. Difficult to believe and unlikely to be true. His claim about time travel appeared far-fetched, yet it sparked intriguing debates. Although the idea seemed far-fetched, it was based on recent scientific discoveries. Some people considered his theory far-fetched, yet it gained considerable attention. Sanguine. Hoping for good things, especially in adversity. His sanguine attitude made difficult situations seem more manageable for the team. Her sanguine outlook on life made her resilient in the face of adversity and setbacks. The sanguine colors in the painting evoked feelings of warmth, hope, and happiness. Dogmatic. Asserting opinions in an arrogant manner. She was criticized for her dogmatic beliefs, refusing to accept differing viewpoints. His dogmatic insistence on tradition clashed with the team's progressive strategies. The dogmatic leader imposed strict rules that left no room for flexibility or innovation. Wrathful. Full of, or marked by extreme anger. Wrathful responses on social media highlighted public outrage over the decision. His wrathful reaction to the criticism showed how easily he was angered by others. The wrathful storm left devastation in its wake, uprooting trees and flooding homes. Sardonic. Being scornful and mocking in a humorous way. The article's sardonic tone criticized government's inefficiency in handling the crisis. His sardonic humor often masked deeper frustrations about social and political issues. Her sardonic comments highlighted the absurdity of the proposed educational reforms. Excruciating. Extremely painful or intensely distressing. After the excruciating workout, I felt completely drained and incapable of continuing. The patient described the injury as causing excruciating physical and emotional pain. His speech stressed the excruciating struggles faced by communities in conflict zones. Outstanding. Much better than usual, or noticeably superior. His outstanding achievements in science earned him a prestigious national award. Her outstanding academic achievements earned her a full scholarship to university. The conference highlighted outstanding innovations in renewable energy technology. Old-fashioned. No longer modern and no longer fashionable. The town's architecture is charming, with many old-fashioned buildings still standing. The old-fashioned customs in rural areas can sometimes conflict with urban lifestyles. The old-fashioned methods of teaching often lack engagement with modern students. Reasonable. Behaving in a sensible and fair way. A reasonable person would consider all perspectives before making a final decision. The new policy offers a reasonable approach to reducing traffic congestion in cities. It is reasonable to assume that climate change impacts global agricultural production. Ambivalent. Having mixed feelings about something. Many voters remain ambivalent about the policies proposed by political candidates. Many people feel ambivalent about technology's role in modern education systems. His ambivalent attitude toward social issues made his arguments seem inconsistent. Sparkling. Shining brightly with points of flashing. The champagne had a sparkling excellence that added elegance to the celebration. The sparkling waters of the lake reflected the colors of the evening sky beautifully. The sparkling wine was served to toast the couple's milestone anniversary celebration. Hilarious. Amusing and causes a lot of laughter. His attempt at cooking was a hilarious disaster, yet surprisingly enjoyable to watch. The hilarious mismatch between their outfits had the entire office in fits of laughter. The comedian's hilarious jokes kept the audience laughing throughout the entire show. Malicious. Showing a desire to cause harm to someone. Their malicious behavior toward new employees created a toxic work environment. Malicious intent must be proven before legal action can be taken against somebody. Spreading malicious rumors can severely damage a person's reputation and credibility. Provocative. Intended to annoy or upset people. The provocative nature of the documentary exposed uncomfortable societal truths. Her provocative speech encouraged the audience to question societal stereotypes. The provocative article questioned the effectiveness of traditional education systems. Perceptible. Capable of being noticed and recognizable. The perceptible increase in noise suggested that the gathering was growing larger. A perceptible shift in public opinion led to significant changes in government policies. His disappointment was perceptible, despite his efforts to remain calm and composed. Delicate. Easily damaged, or requires careful handling. The delicate porcelain vase was carefully handled to avoid any potential damage. The delicate balance of the ecosystem must be preserved to ensure sustainability. The negotiations involved delicate issues that required careful diplomacy and tact. Perplexed. Something is difficult to understand or solve. His perplexed expression revealed his confusion about the topic being discussed. The teacher patiently explained the concept to the perplexed students once again. She looked perplexed after analyzing the confusing instructions for the assignment. Eloquent. Fluent or persuasive in speaking or writing. She delivered an eloquent argument, persuading the jury of her client's innocence. The professor delivered an eloquent lecture on the importance of ethical practices. The award recipient gave an eloquent acceptance speech that moved the audience. Pensive. Deep in thought, often reflective or melancholic. His pensive demeanor revealed his struggle with the complexities of the situation. The novel's protagonist often engages in pensive reflections about life and destiny. His pensive expression suggested he was deeply contemplating an important decision. Indifferent. Lacking interest, concern, or sympathy. He remained indifferent to the criticism, showing no concern for others' opinions. His indifferent response disappointed those who expected enthusiasm and support. The teacher noticed the student's indifferent attitude toward academic performance. Timely. Happening at the best possible moment. Timely updates from the news channel kept everyone informed during the storm. The company's timely investment in technology ensured its competitive advantage. The government's timely intervention prevented the economic crisis from worsening. Intrigued. Arouse the curiosity or interest in something. The ancient artifact intrigued archaeologists, who debated its origins and purpose. His storytelling skills kept the audience intrigued throughout the entire performance. The professor's lecture on black holes intrigued students and sparked deep curiosity. Derogatory. Showing a critical or disrespectful attitude. The journalist faced backlash for writing a derogatory article about the politician. Her derogatory comments about the company resulted in immediate termination. Using derogatory language in professional settings is considered highly inappropriate. Esoteric. Having an inner or secret meaning. The esoteric rituals of the secret society have fascinated historians for centuries. His esoteric knowledge of ancient scripts fascinated scholars and historians alike. The book's esoteric themes made it difficult for the general audience to appreciate. Abnormal. Deviating from the normal or average. Abnormal fluctuations in the stock market can lead to significant financial losses. The abnormal increase in crime rates alarmed the local authorities and policymakers. Abnormal rainfall patterns have caused severe flooding in several parts of the country. Dexterous. Any skillful or clever physical movement. His dexterous fingers moved quickly over the keyboard, typing at lightning speed. The dexterous gymnast executed her routine with incredible precision and balance. A dexterous surgeon must have steady hands to perform delicate medical procedures. Luxurious. Extremely comfortable or elegant in manner. The luxurious interior of the mansion reflected the owner's wealth and refined taste. The hotel offers a luxurious experience with its elegant suites and world-class service. She enjoys a luxurious lifestyle filled with expensive cars, jewelry, and designer clothes. Insatiable. Incapable of being satisfied or appeased. The insatiable demand for energy has put immense pressure on natural resources. The billionaire's insatiable greed pushed him to exploit workers for maximum profit. She had an insatiable desire for adventure and traveled to remote places constantly. Preposterous. extremely irrational and completely foolish. His suggestion to cancel exams altogether was deemed preposterous by everyone. The idea that the Earth is flat is completely preposterous and scientifically incorrect. His preposterous claim about aliens secretly ruling the world lacked any logical basis. Outrageous. Extremely shocking, excessive, or unacceptable. The outrageous prices of basic necessities make it difficult for families to survive. The outrageous fashion trend quickly gained popularity among young influencers. The outrageous claim about the company's profits raised doubts among investors. Sarcastic. Using remarks that clearly mean the opposite. His sarcastic remarks often alienated people during important group discussions. Excessive sarcastic remarks can erode trust between friends and colleagues alike. His sarcastic tone suggested he was not genuinely impressed with the presentation. Empathetic. The ability to sense other people's feelings. An empathetic teacher can understand and address the needs of every student. The counselor's empathetic attitude encouraged open and honest communication. His empathetic nature allowed him to link deeply with people from all backgrounds. Contemporary. Existing or occurring at the same time. Contemporary art often challenges traditional perspectives on beauty and creativity. The novel explores contemporary social issues affecting modern urban communities. Contemporary fashion trends are heavily influenced by digital culture and social media. Underprivileged. Lacking essential things for a comfortable life. Social programs aim to uplift underprivileged individuals through skill development. The charity aims to improve living conditions for underprivileged families worldwide. Underprivileged areas often lack proper infrastructure, including roads and sanitation. Skeptical. Doubting that something is true or useful. He was skeptical about online reviews, suspecting some were fake or exaggerated. Being skeptical encourages critical thinking and prevents the spread of propaganda. Scientists remain skeptical until sufficient evidence supports a particular hypothesis. Vivid. Producing powerful feelings or clear images. The vivid colors of the painting create a strong emotional connection with viewers. Her vivid imagination allowed her to create incredibly detailed and captivating stories. She shared a vivid account of her adventurous journey through the Amazon rainforest. Absurd. Ridiculous, or completely unreasonable. His absurd excuse for being late made everyone burst into uncontrollable laughter. The absurd demands of the job left employees frustrated and overworked every day. His absurd fear of technology prevented him from using smartphones or computers. Vulnerable. Susceptible to being attacked or damaged. Vulnerable wildlife species face extinction due to habitat destruction and poaching. Children are particularly vulnerable to the negative effects of excessive screen time. Natural disasters leave vulnerable populations in urgent need of aid and protection. Superficial. Concerned only with what is obvious or apparent. Judging someone based on superficial appearances can lead to false assumptions. His superficial understanding of politics made his arguments weak and unconvincing. A superficial understanding of complex issues can lead to misguided decision-making. Definitive. Conclusive and authoritative, not subject to change. The study provided a definitive analysis of the country's economic growth trends. The scientist provided definitive evidence that disproved the long-standing theory. The book serves as a definitive guide to understanding advanced economic principles. Robust. Exhibiting strength or vigorous health. His arguments were backed by robust evidence, strengthening his position greatly. The security system needs to be robust enough to prevent cyber threats effectively. The bridge was built with robust materials to withstand extreme weather conditions. Witty. Using words in a clever and funny way. His witty remarks always managed to lighten the mood during serious discussions. The author's witty writing style made the book both informative and entertaining. Her witty observations about everyday life make her social media posts highly popular. Whimsical. Spontaneously fanciful or playful. His whimsical ideas often surprised his colleagues, but led to innovative solutions. A whimsical attitude towards life can sometimes lead to unexpected opportunities. She decorated her room with whimsical designs, inspired by fairy tales and mythology. Solemn. Serious, dignified, and formal in behavior. The ceremony had a solemn atmosphere, filled with deep respect and reflection. The solemn music played during the funeral added to the emotional atmosphere. The solemn occasion required everyone to dress appropriately and show respect. Reticent. Unwilling to speak about thoughts or feelings. A reticent approach may sometimes hinder effective communication at work. His reticent demeanor made it difficult for others to understand his true emotions. She was naturally reticent, preferring to listen rather than engage in conversations. Ambiguous. Having more than one possible meaning. The movie's ambiguous ending left the audience debating its true meaning for hours. His ambiguous response left us unsure about his true intentions regarding the project. The policy was too ambiguous to give employees clear guidance on their responsibilities. Miraculous. Very wonderful, or amazing like a miracle. A miraculous turn of events allowed them to find shelter just before the storm hit. The miraculous recovery of the patient surprised even the most experienced doctors. It was nothing short of miraculous that she survived the accident without any injuries. Heartfelt. Very strongly felt, or extremely sincere. The heartfelt speech at the wedding left the guests deeply moved and emotional. His heartfelt efforts to help the community earned his admiration from all around. Her heartfelt speech moved everyone in the audience to tears during the ceremony. Destitute. Essentially means not having something. The destitute children in the orphanage were cared for by dedicated staff members. The war left countless people destitute, struggling to rebuild their lives from scratch. The documentary highlighted the struggles of destitute families living in urban slums. Mournful. Full of sadness, expressing sorrow or grief. Her mournful expression revealed the profound loss she had recently experienced. The film's mournful ending left the audience reflecting on the fleeting nature of life. Mournful expressions marked the faces of those grieving the recent tragedy in town. Exponential. Increasing rapidly and at an accelerating rate. Online education platforms saw exponential growth during global lockdown periods. Exponential increases in data storage capacities have revolutionized digital industries. Environmental pollution has risen at an exponential rate, causing widespread concern. Splendid. Superb, impressive, or exceptionally excellent. They spent a splendid weekend exploring the countryside and enjoying nature. Their splendid performance received a standing ovation from the entire audience. The museum displayed a splendid collection of Renaissance paintings and sculptures. Authentic. Genuine, real, and not a counterfeit. His authentic storytelling captivated the audience, leaving a lasting emotional impact. To build trust, leaders must show authentic commitment to their values and principles. The museum exhibits authentic artifacts from ancient civilizations, carefully preserved. Elegant. Graceful and stylish in appearance or manner. The author used elegant prose to convey complex ideas with clarity and beauty. The garden featured an elegant fountain, surrounded by marble statues and roses. He offered an elegant argument that addressed both ethical and scientific concerns. Glorious. When something is fabulous or wonderful. The team celebrated a glorious victory after months of hard work and dedication. The glorious history of the empire is still celebrated in many cultural traditions today. His glorious speech inspired the crowd and sparked a movement toward social change. Exuberant. Feeling really happy and enthusiastic. His exuberant enthusiasm for the project inspired the entire team to work harder. Her exuberant personality made her the life of every social gathering she attended. The exuberant celebration of the festival filled the streets with music, food, and joy. Tranquil. Calm, peaceful, and free from disturbance. The tranquil beauty of the forest made it the perfect destination for nature lovers. The garden's tranquil atmosphere allowed visitors to reflect and find solace in nature. A tranquil environment is essential for relaxation and mental clarity after a hectic day. Ludicrous. Causing laughter because of absurdity. The character's ludicrous behavior added comedic relief to the stressed storyline. Claiming the Earth is flat sounds absolutely ludicrous in modern scientific discourse. The movie's plot was so ludicrous that viewers couldn't take it seriously for a moment. Colloquial. Associated with familiar and informal conversation. The dialogue included colloquial phrases that reflected the region's cultural identity. Academic writing typically avoids colloquial language to maintain formality and clarity. Using colloquial language in official reports can undermine their professional credibility. Coherent. Logical and well-organized, easy to understand. The professor emphasized the need for a coherent structure in academic writing. Without a coherent plan, the project quickly descended into chaos and confusion. The professor provided a coherent outline of the course objectives and expectations. Frivolous. Not having any serious purpose or value. The committee dismissed his frivolous suggestions, focusing on more critical issues. Some argue that social media promotes frivolous content, reducing its overall value. The debate shifted from serious matters to frivolous personal opinions, losing its focus. Appalling. Very unpleasant, horrifying, or causing dismay. The appalling crimes committed by the gang led to widespread fear and outrage. The appalling lack of medical supplies worsened the situation in the remote village. The government's appalling negligence during the crisis sparked nationwide protests. Pungent. Having a sharply strong taste or smell. The pungent spices in the curry overwhelmed those unaccustomed to bold flavors. The critics' pungent remarks offended many, but sparked a necessary public debate. The pungent odor from the factory raised health concerns among nearby residents. Mischievous. Enjoying or having fun by causing trouble. His mischievous grin suggested he was about to play a harmless prank on someone. The mischievous puppy chewed on shoes and furniture, making a mess in the house. The mischievous wind blew papers around the street, creating chaos on the sidewalk. Ominous. A feeling that something bad is going to happen. The ominous silence in the courtroom made everyone anxious and uncomfortable. Rising inflation rates present an ominous warning for the nation's economic stability. The ominous warning on the weather report suggested dangerous conditions ahead. Dubious. Uncertain feelings, or doubt about something. The politician's dubious promises during the campaign were met with skepticism. The scientist's dubious research methods compromised the validity of the findings. His explanation sounded dubious, leaving everyone skeptical about his true intentions. Egotistical. Thinking you are more important than others. The egotistical CEO only cared about personal success, neglecting the team's needs. His egotistical attitude made it difficult to collaborate effectively with his colleagues. Being egotistical, he often disregarded other people's opinions and focused on himself. Authoritarian. Controlling everything and forcing people to obey. Critics argue that an authoritarian style of governance stifles democratic progress. In authoritarian systems, dissent is often suppressed through fear and intimidation. Authoritarian rule frequently leads to social unrest and widespread civil disobedience. Thrilled. Feeling intense pleasurable excitement. She was thrilled when her artwork received recognition in the annual competition. She looked thrilled after winning first place in the international debate competition. The children were thrilled about the school's unexpected announcement of a field trip. Gloomy. Showing a lack of hope or pessimism in mood. The movie's gloomy setting perfectly matched its dark and mysterious storyline. A series of gloomy predictions emerged about the consequences of deforestation. Her face turned gloomy upon hearing the disappointing results of her application. Elaborate. To do with great care or with much detail. During the interview, he gave an elaborate account of his professional experience. The museum displayed elaborate sculptures crafted during the Renaissance period. He gave an elaborate speech on climate change's long-term impact on coastal cities. Cumbersome. Large, heavy, and therefore difficult to use. The team found the new regulations cumbersome, hindering their usual workflow. Carrying the cumbersome backpack made hiking up the steep mountain trail difficult. Managing multiple cumbersome spreadsheets increased the risk of critical data errors. Remarkable. Worthy of attention, extraordinary, or exceptional. The museum houses a remarkable collection of artifacts from ancient civilizations. Her remarkable dedication to community service inspired many young volunteers. The athlete's remarkable comeback after injury motivated countless aspiring players. Zealous. Full of energy, effort, and enthusiasm. The teacher praised her zealous dedication to improving her academic performance. The manager's zealous attitude motivated the team to achieve their goals efficiently. The researcher's zealous dedication advanced the field of medical science significantly. Vindictive. Having a tendency to seek revenge or spiteful. Holding a vindictive attitude prevents individuals from moving forward positively. The vindictive behavior displayed by the character in the novel led to his downfall. His vindictive efforts to sabotage the project only backfired, causing his own failure. Reminiscent. Awakening memories of something similar. The scent of pine was reminiscent of their family's annual winter holidays together. The painting is reminiscent of childhood summers spent in the peaceful countryside. His speech was reminiscent of past leaders who inspired hope during difficult times. Somber. A feeling of great sadness or lack of brightness. His somber expression revealed the gravity of the situation without needing words. Her somber reflection on climate change emphasized its irreversible consequences. The novel's somber narrative explores themes of human suffering and moral conflict. Bewildered. Confused, perplexed, or completely baffled. The bewildered look on his face revealed that he didn't understand the question. His bewildered expression indicated he had lost track of the ongoing conversation. He felt utterly bewildered by the conflicting medical advice from different specialists. Laudatory. Expressing praise, admiration, or commendation. Critics wrote laudatory reviews, calling the novel a modern literary masterpiece. The artist's work drew laudatory attention for its bold colors and intricate details. The CEO received laudatory remarks for her innovative method of business strategy. Insipid. Not having a strong taste or character. Despite the insipid start to the project, the team eventually turned things around. His insipid speech failed to inspire the crowd, leaving them uninterested and bored. The soup was bland and insipid, lacking the flavors that could have made it delicious. Poignant. Having a very sharp feeling of sadness. The writer's poignant reflections on aging resonated with readers across generations. The documentary delivered a poignant message about the harsh realities of poverty. His poignant words reflected the profound loss experienced by the entire community.